Now, Budweiser's bizarre promo ad for Bud Light beer featuring the trans activist Dylan Mulvaney has plunged its parent company, Anheuser-Busch, into its biggest crisis in its 171-year history. So this, let me show you, is the most disastrous ad, I think, commercially in history.
This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya! Cheers! Go team! Whatever team you love, I love too.
So on the back of that commercial tie-in, the company lost a whopping £5 billion in just 6 days in market value. And execs for the company are now trying to blame low-level staffers. But Bud Light's Vice President of Marketing, Alyssa Heiner-Shayed, on the eve of the promo, outlined her intention to make the Bud Light brand less frat house lad and more woke. Look.
It's super clear mandate. It's like we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. Okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. We had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of bratty, kind of out of touch humor, and it was really important that we had another approach.
Well, Kelvin MacKenzie, well done to that woke woman, because by trying to stop Bud Light being associated with frat boys, she's managed to wipe $6 billion off the company.
Right, well, that woman clearly is right on the edge of getting the bullet. I mean, the truth about the matter is, if you've lived in the States at all, the Budweiser is always about blokes sitting in bars, having a beer, right? A kind of frat community. Older drinkers, I agree. So the issue was somebody had to make a decision. How are we going to change this? It's clearly that lady who decided to change it, and it's that lady who ought to go. Now, what's happened is that the traditional bars in America have started to reject that beer. Why? They've rejected it because their punters who used to have it now don't want it, because that is a very, very powerful image that you've just shown there. When you've seen that, you have to make a decision. Do I want to go with this? Do I feel warm towards this? Or am I going to reject it? And my sense is that they have made an error. And the other thing is, you're quite right, too, to mention the fact that they now can't find anybody who made the decision that this lady, I'll call her a woman, she wants to be called a woman, that this woman should be put in this position. Isn't it fantastic that they say that they hire influencers at very low levels within a massive successful company like Anheuser-Busch? I frankly don't believe it. When you see that lady there, who was the head of marketing for the company, she was very clear. She wanted to blow things up. She has blown things up, and it hasn't worked. So there's only one person who's got to walk the plank now. She's got to walk the plank. I don't blame Dylan Mulvaney. Why should I blame him or her? She got paid $70,000 for pushing it. That's what she does for a living. Yeah, honestly, if somebody paid me $70,000, I'd push it.
Okay, fine. But the issue I have about the Dylan Mulvaney thing is that he is dressed up in, Nike sportswear, trying to say to women, oh, but buy these sportswear brand. Well, he doesn't have boobs, he has a penis, so clearly that's highly inappropriate. And with the whole Bud Light thing, the ad was actually quite offensive because he said, I know nothing about March Madness. Well, the whole point of the promotion was March Madness, which is obviously a massive American sporting event.
It is, sports.
Yeah, but look, I want to move on to this to this man behind the mass NHS walkout of junior doctors, Kelvin. So this is the Marxist baron, Dr. Robert Lawrenson. And he's been slammed by his own dad, Kelvin, after abandoning his colleagues on the picket line to go on holiday.
So this guy has dropped himself in it. He's now had to apologise to everybody. So he chooses to go on to his friend's wedding rather than be involved in the picket, even although he was one of the two co-leaders of the strike. So he's clearly made a terrible error. But the other thing, his father has come out against him as well, pointing out, I'm a customer of the NHS, I pay my taxes, and I don't agree with it. And the other reason he says it, of course, is that he runs a multi-million-pound investment firm. And one of the directors of that firm is his son, Dr. Rob Lawrenson. So my question about this is, does he get paid as a director? And how many hours a week or a month or a year does he do on that when he's not doctoring? I'm not against him doing that. I'd just like to know. There's a whole series of things. And his father says of him, he said he's not a red under the bed. He's not a militant anarchist. Where does all this come from? Isn't that strange? I mean, I rather warm to his dad. His dad is as puzzled by his son's politics as the rest of us are. Have you heard tonight that the nurses have rejected that pay offer and that tomorrow they're going to announce it? And so there's going to be more mayhem, more deaths. That point the Telegraph makes tonight is an absolute shocker.
Exactly. Deaths actually being caused. And as you've pointed out, Kelvin, for a long time, because you're furious about this, you know, you say the Hippocratic Oath used to be do no harm. Now it's almost like must cause harm.
Must cause harm. They don't care. They literally don't care. They're using your pain, especially the older community, your pain for their pay. And do you know what? They actually have the balls, effectively, to say, we are doing the right thing. How can it be right for a doctor or a nurse to sentence a patient to an early death so that they get another 1 or 2%? Do you know what? Western Australia, they can have this lot. Let us try and train up some other people who have no strike clauses in their contract. Let us treat them like we do police officers. Why should police officers not be allowed to strike? And yet the doctors who can kill you or could save you are allowed to strike. It's ridiculous. It should change.